We got a lot to talk about. Now that 1.18 is out for everybody, how do you guys feel about the Caves and Cliffs update? What is your final verdict? How do you guys feel about part 1 and part 2 as a whole? And how does it rank against the other updates? The previous updates, is this an update that you feel like will leave a great impression long term? We got a lot to discuss, and overall, I just want to talk about my feelings about the entire Caves and Cliffs update. But more specifically, I want to focus on the Caves update part because I feel like overall, that's what started everything. The Cave update on feedback just slowly gaining momentum. Every single year, it gained a lot more attention to the point where Mojang announced this update during Minecon 2020 as a result of community support. So the Caves and Cliffs update definitely feels more like a community update, and as a result, I feel like our expectations will definitely be all over the place. But regardless of how you feel about 1.17 and 1.18, I want to point out that Mojang absolutely crushed it. They put so much hard work, so much time and effort and love into this update during an ongoing pandemic where they're used to working together as a team instead of remotely. I'm still not entirely sure about the current conditions, but I just imagine that when you're used to working a certain way and then you have to do a complete 180 in terms of how you work, where you work, it's going to impact your mental health, just everything that you're used to. And I imagine that's just terribly difficult, but that is something I do consider when I think about overall everything this update introduces and how this update makes me feel. But I hope you guys do enjoy today's video. If you can do me a major favor and please leave a like. It's the only way YouTube supports my channel in any shape or form. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Only 40% of you watching the video are subscribed. So hashtag that stealth army. You know the routine. You know the drill. Let's get straight into the video. So here's some things worth pointing out before we actually talk about the Caves update part of 1.18. So they increased the world height and depth, adding 50% more vertical space to build and explore. This is instantly noticeable. Regardless of the world, the seed you spawn into, you're going to notice this instantly, to the point where it can be overwhelming for a lot of people, but I imagine it's also equally as exciting to know that you got so much to explore. So Mojang killed it here. New cave generation to explore below your existing worlds. This is possibly the most impressive aspect of the entire update, knowing that you can go into your world that is 5 years old, 10 years old, and still get new content, being able to dig down and find the brand new caves and the cave generation. That is just mind-boggling. I don't even know how they were able to achieve that, but that lets you know they were considering everybody when developing this update. They really wanted everybody to experience the new caves and just the new cave generation. So definitely a lot of credit to Mojang for just considering old worlds and simply just being able to enjoy brand new content without feeling that pressure to start a new world or go out 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 blocks away from your home. That's just simply not fun. And I'm sure Mojang realized it and they're like, how do we make this work? So now the bedrock is simply replaced with deep slate. So this is one of the best features in my opinion. New cave and mountain biomes like Lush caves and Jagged peaks. So when it comes to the actual cave biomes, we're going to be spending more time talking about this towards the end of the video because I feel like this is where they probably could have spent a little bit more time or resources on the actual cave biomes. But let's talk about the mountains here because I feel like this is the icon, like this is the symbol of 1.18 are these beautiful mountains. They absolutely killed it. We got the meadows, the grove, the snowy slopes, the jagged peaks, the frozen peaks, the stony peaks, and every time I see one of these mountains or biomes, I honestly just want to take a screenshot and just stare at it. It's that captivating, that mesmerizing, and I know that's what Mojang was aiming for. They wanted you to feel super small and just surrounded by absolute beauty. And I know Mojang, and especially Henrik, they were spending so much time on the mountain generation up until release. They were still making some minor changes to the mountain generation, the formation of mountains. So I know they spent probably tens of thousands of hours on the mountains, and it clearly shows. But let's move on to the next one. Drastically updated and improved biome, cave, and ore generation. So this right here is something that I know the community has been asking for. It's one of the reasons why the cave update was on feedback for so long, and we've wanted it for such a long time, is because mining and caves were simply boring. Strip mining was just not a very effective way to collect materials and ores, and overall it just wasn't a really enjoyable experience, and it's something that hasn't really changed since the beginning of Minecraft. So it's been like that for a very long time. Mojang knew it as well, and that's one of the reasons why we got this update to begin with, but now we have an actual strategy to mining. It actually makes sense to utilize fortune as well as the ore veins, as well as just capitalize on the new tunnels and cave systems. So there's a lot to it now. It's a lot more complex, a lot more enjoyable. And overall, it just feels like a journey, an adventure mining, which is the whole point, in my opinion, of Minecraft, is having a fun experience while you're collecting materials. And of course, all the other things that Minecraft is known for. But let's go ahead and focus on the next one, which has added several new music tracks to enjoy during gameplay. So you guys know me, I love Minecraft music. I'm always playing it when I'm streaming, when I'm editing. Sometimes I even listen to it while I'm driving. So they added some amazing new soundtracks to 1.18. So I'll have all the songs down below. I'm sure I'm going to be having it in the background of this video as well. So a lot of amazing music. We got a brand new music disc called Other Side, and they're just all wonderful, fantastic songs. And it definitely adds to this update. It makes the update better when you're able to experience the new world generation, the new caves, and explore these biomes. And you got the new music playing in the background. It just makes you feel like you're playing it for the first time, like you're playing Minecraft for the first time. It's a really interesting experience, and I think that just shows you how important music is, especially to a game like this, where it's been out for like 10 plus years. Adding new music is crucial, and I would argue they should think about that for every update, adding new music and a new music disc. So the next one is fixed over 70 bugs, issues, and parody changes. So of course, fixing bugs and parody is one of the most important things, I would say, in every update, not just exclusive to the Caves and Cliffs update. But it is nice to know that Mojang is still very focused on parity, making sure Java and Bedrock are equal. I would just argue that I feel like it's been that way for a long time, that there's so many changes, there's so many differences between Java and Bedrock. But share your thoughts down below when it comes to parity. As for the bugs, I mean, we can't play a broken game, so anytime Mojang addresses a lot of bugs, it's a great thing. But let's focus on the cave update part. So they've made a ton of changes to the cave generation. Clearly, they're just enormous. Sometimes they look like cave cities. They're that big. Like, you can build an entire city down there. There's not really a lot going on in certain areas, but we do have the Lush cave, which is probably everybody's favorite biome in the caves, as well as the Dripstone cave, which is a biome I've said several times before, and it's probably going to remain that way. I'm just going to avoid the Dripstone cave. I'm not trying to die in the caves, and that just feels like a biome I should try and avoid, similar to the basalt deltas in the Nether. Like, if it's a riskier type of biome that really doesn't offer you a true reward, I'm just gonna avoid it because, yeah, it's just super dangerous, and is it worth the risk? You got the stalagmites and the stalactites, but you also got the creepers and the zombies and skeletons that can easily put you into a really nasty situation. So I tend to just avoid those biomes that Mojang likes to add. That's just complete chaos. But the Lush cave is something else. It's just easily the best cave biome, but that's not saying too much, considering I think we only got 2 cave biomes to begin with. So in terms of variety, Mojang didn't really go all out here. And I'm not saying like they could have added more. I don't know how much time they had to work on every feature. I mean, I'm sure they ran into a lot of problems, but just looking at this update for the content, the amount of features we have specifically related to the caves, I feel like it's sort of lacking. And also considering this is something we've been asking for nearly 4 years, and that's just on feedback. I mean, I'm sure we've been asking for a cave update a lot longer than that. So let's actually look at the original post, which I'm sure inspired this entire update. Hi, we spend a lot of time in caves in Minecraft, but they didn't get any new or exciting features since a long time. That's why I think a cave update is due. Here are some ideas. Cave biomes in different types of caves depending on the biome it's generated in. For example, ice caves, bat-infested caves, lava caves, etc. We didn't get any of these 3 cave ideas. And I'm not here to say that these are the best cave biome ideas. I think they just listed some examples and in hopes of just getting something new for cave biomes. But still, it's something new, right? And I love the idea of biome-specific caves, like a jungle cave, a mushroom cave, as well as an ice cave with icicles. I'm surprised we didn't get icicles. Like, that was one of the features that I just felt like made a lot of sense for what they were trying to aim for with the caves and the mountains. So that was a little shocking. The bat-infested cave sounds pretty creepy. I'm sure they could have done something really spooky with that. But I'm pretty sure you guys get the point, adding a lot more cave biomes. So share your examples and ideas down below. But let's continue. Stalactite and stalagmites in caves should be blocky, maybe like cobblestone walls. More mushrooms in those caves. Mobs spawning only in caves. So Mojang does deserve a lot of credit here because they did address, I would argue, most of these points. However, for a lot of people, the most crucial and important point being cave biomes, that's something where they missed the mark. The Lush cave is a biome that I feel like everybody will enjoy, but is it enough considering we've been waiting 4+ years? And more than likely, Mojang will eventually add more cave biomes, but that could be another 2 years, 3 years, maybe 5+ years. So looking at it in that light, 2 cave biomes simply isn't enough. But don't let that impact your overall experience and opinions about 1.18 and 1.17 as a whole. This is one of my favorite updates. It is definitely in the top 3 best updates of all time, simply because of the scale and the sheer size of these biomes now. They're just so huge that it just makes the amplified kid in me want to scream every single day. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Share your opinions down below, and I'll catch you all in the next video. So take care. Peace.
Ha ha ha.